All right, I want to welcome everyone to the new home of ability training and hockey hacks. I'm just going to finish up my upper body workout while I catch up with everyone. And I wanted to talk about for a long time, ever since I um, transitioned to doing this full time. So, the thing I was curious about talking about today as I finish my upper body is what I experienced inside of working at a commercial gym setting. So what I noticed with that is here's how the structure is laid out. Here's what I don't like about it, and why I think the plan that a plan that I'm on and a plan that I prescribe to many of my online clients is a lot better for you. So what these commercial gym settings do fundamentally is that they sell you on the idea that you're gonna show up to work at their place and get results. But the way that they have things structured is completely different than private training. And here's how that looks like. And this is basically ubiquitous for all commercial gym settings and sometimes some private gyms, but for the most part, I know that this is to be true with the commercial gym setting. How they have things set up is they don't let you come in, at least with how they sell their packaging, they don't sell anything more than 3 times a week. They sell you on once or twice or a number like that, a very low number that you're seeing a trainer, and then the other times that you're supposed to come in as part of your investment, you you're doing work on your own, so they say. But in my 1.5 years there, I saw that wasn't the case, especially with many of the clients that I trained. I had there were about 100 people that I trained, and 40 to 50 that were recurring, and at the time that I was working about 40 hours a week or so. And so basically 80 to 90% of the clients that I trained, I only saw 2 times a week or less. And so it was very hard on my end to program for them properly and also to guarantee them results, because the most optimal form of results that you're going to get is coming and working with guidance or without guidance 3 to 5 times a week, that you're doing specific strength training, if especially if you have specific goals. Let's just simplify it to, if you have a specific goal, you're going to train for that specific thing. For most people it's strength training. For most people, I know generalization is you want a better life, a better quality of life, better health, like to get out of injury and pains and things like that. That's pretty general. What what i what you program with, excuse me, what you program mostly with clients who don't come in very often is uh, all you can give them is basically a good workout. The problem with that is that it doesn't allow you to align that up with the specific goal that you have. Anybody can go through any type of workout whatsoever, any type of strength training, anything like that. Name a workout, anyone's going to do it. But you got to think about it this way, especially the next time that someone sells you on a training package, or you go into a commercial gym setting, and this is what they're going to mostly talk about and mostly sell you on, is the idea that you're going to take care of yourself and that you don't really need that much guidance, which is why they sell you on like sometimes 1 to 3 times a week that you see a trainer, because they are assuming that the other times, because you're paying for their membership to get in, that you're going to work on your own. Again, like I said, not many people actually do that.
either mess up the form on this exercise that they're assigned. They forget the names of the exercises if they write it down in a book, and don't have access to the visuals and everything that the trainer usually gives them when they're there with you in person. Or in my case, and some other trainers do this too, where they make form videos, like not many people are going to have access to that. So there's the biggest problem, is that you're sold an idea, and then you're sold that you're going to be doing it on your own, but the amount of times that people actually go through and do that doesn't actually happen. Because, like, I want to name, like, I think out of the hundreds of people that I trained, just for one session, which was for half an hour, by the way, which, like, that also doesn't work. That's another conversation. But the people who come in for, just that, or just once a week, and then they try to train on their own and end up, not being able to do it afterwards. That's what the problem is with the industry there, and the setting that's there, is that, again, you're sold an idea. Not many people follow through on it. I want to say like 2 people out of the 100 or so that I trained actually knew what they were doing, did the exercises correctly, did the sequencing of the exercises correctly. So it's not just the exercises that you're doing, it's the rest time, it's the tempo, not just like going through it fast, but actually doing it with proper form according to the tempo that's prescribed. So different things can have different tempo. You can go, there's a time and place to go fast, there's a time and place to go slow and controlled, which kind of leads into the next point, which is like, if you're sold on the idea to begin with, many people, if they're on a 6-month contract or a 1-year contract, which is the limiting factor that these commercial gyms supply, they don't go any further than that, and they also don't do a 3-month option or a 1-month trial option. They don't respect those areas. Again, like, not many people are going to renew after that year or even after the 6 months, because they're not seeing results, because they have an improper plan. And that happened numerous times. My goal as a trainer at the commercial gym I worked at was to be retention, and then my manager was the guy selling the people on the training. But there's a reason there's such a high turnover rate, not just with the employees there, by the way, but with the clients, is that they don't actually get the results, because, again, they're sold on an idea that it's going to work, and then it doesn't end up working after that. So what's the solution to this? It ties back to the idea that, again, you're going to do it on your own, and that you have time to do it on your own. But that's the job of a coach, to think of the programming and the planning that they give out to you. It's not the job of a client to think about the programming. It's a job of a coach, because the coach is going to research different things than the client. In a sense, the client is asking the coach to, help them out. And that's also the other thing that they're helping them out with. It's not just the list of exercises, but it's how you sequence the exercises, how you arrange them, the appropriate regressions of every single thing, too. Especially for general pop, you're not going to have time to think about all those factors that go into your programming and how you lay out your workout, if you want to call it that. But it's actually the programming towards your specific goals that is the main factor that matters for your true progress. So that's also something to think about as someone who's exploring different options of training. You got to think about the specific goals that you have. If you want to just get workouts, well, in all honesty, you're likely going to get bored from just doing a bunch of workouts, especially if you're not seeing results. Prime example, the clients that I train at this commercial gym and what happens at every other commercial gym for that matter. There's a reason I'm being anonymous with the commercial gym setting, because it is a factor that plays out at every single commercial gym setting. That at least that would be my general assumption for how the sales process and everything else is set up there. So I'm not just to give me an example. I even still reach out to other coaches and other trainers who I trust to be better than me and who I've learned with, who I've done internships with, because I'm still learning as a trainer for myself. Trainers need trainers still. We feed off of each other so that we can improve our way of coaching our clients. That way the clients don't have to think about their workouts and they can just perform and do their stuff. And then say if you're a desk job worker, all you need to think about is you put the trust into the trainer that you have. They create your plan appropriate to what you're doing. Say if you want to fix your posture, say if you want to lose weight, say if you want to lose body fat, which is more accurate, by the way, than weight. It's the job of a coach, it's the job of a trainer to think of that for you. Otherwise, they wouldn't be called coaches or trainers. You have a specific goal in mind that you don't know how to take care of and that you don't have time to think about in all likelihood. And that's the main factor. You're not going to have time to think about it, especially if you're a client. And especially if you're just getting into fitness for the first time, you don't have time to think about the stuff that the trainers and coaches and strength, name it all. Coaches, trainers, they've done the work to get into this. There's a lot that goes into training, into creating a better life, into programming and all that. It is way too complex for clients to think about, especially if you have your own life that you have to take care of. So that's why I'm making this, is to show that and talk about, at least, that it really matters what you're looking for. That's what you got to think about, and that's also what to be careful in a commercial gym setting, what you're being sold on. I'm not saying it's a scam. I want to be very clear about that. I don't think it's a scam. You can call it whatever you want after I reveal the truth about that industry, but I'm just laying out the facts of what it is. That's it. And what I've seen work better. I'm on a specific plan right now. I'm doing wave, as what it's called. I just finished up chins and incline presses in a wave format, which is designed to get me stronger. I'm trying to get stronger for a camp that I'm doing in the middle of July. So all my workouts are designed to get me ready for exactly that. And it's a specific plan that was laid out over the last 6 months, honestly. The first steps that I had for this plan were laid out in January. That's like it. Today is just middle of June, so that's like over 6 months already. There's a lot of factors that go into this. There's a lot of thought. That's why I reached out to other coaches to help me think about this, because I'm training the same way that I would have a professional athlete train. I'm going through a very similar program that I would have them go through, and that these other coaches who have also trained pro athletes would also go through. Again, it's something that's very specific. Everyone has something specific towards them. That's what you have to think about, and that's what you also have to be careful about when you're being sold on these one-on-one training packages. I don't think the commercial gym industry works 90% of the time. 10% of the time, you get very lucky with a trainer, person, you have great chemistry, you get results that way. The other 90% or more, it doesn't work very well. So I'm gonna end it there and finish my last set. I want to thank you for watching. Glad to be back, and I'll see you next time.